What's good at YouTube? It's your boy, the Casual Nerd Day here, and I'm back to give you guys a review on the movie LightYear. If you don't know what LightYear is, you don't know who Buzz Lightyear is, get off this video, go watch the Toy Story movies. You had no childhood or you're way too young to be watching this. And you're bugging if you watch LightYear before the Toy Story movies. Now, I'm hoping the rest of you people that are still watching, you guys know who Buzz Lightyear is. I don't explain too much, but pretty much, and the movie starts off with this premise: it's the movie that Annie saw as a kid that got her interested in Buzz Lightyear, the action figure that we first see in the very first Toy Story movie. So this is basically the whole movie that Annie watched, and we get to see it. And I'm honestly, I felt like Andy watching the movie. I want to start by saying Chris Evans and Yuzu Aduba. I think I pronounced her name right. I'm sorry if I didn't, but they start off. She's Hawthorne, and Chris Evans is playing Buzz Lightyear, obviously, and their chemistry from the top of the movie is great. I don't know, like, this movie is supposed to, I guess, embark that these two characters have been friends and had to like bond and friendship for years before. Yeah, but the chemistry for them two from the start, it was a blast, and I loved it because it kind of set the whole premise of the movie up, right? Like, I think one of the first funny bits that I enjoy with the movie is showing Buzz relationship with rookies and how he just doesn't like working with them, which is a perfect way to set up the arc of this movie, or for at least for his character to be. He again reluctantly didn't want to work with rookies, and as we see in the movie, we see why. Well, at least in this segment of the movie, we see why, because like they I think he says like they have the little twinkle in the eye when something's going wrong, and they just don't know how to follow certain directions, and and it's a great comedy bit they have with the rookie. I don't his name is ridiculous, like Buzz doesn't even like pronounce it, but so I don't know, it was a really good bit, but it also showed like the kind of chemistry that Buzz and Hawthorne had, because they were on tune like from the start. Like every joke, everything he did, he was doing his little monologue, and she was like, yo, who you do that for? Nobody listens to that. And then when he was talking to the rookie and kind of give like his motivational speech, she had played music in the background to mock him. It was like, yeah, like from the start, it was like, oh, the chemistry is there, and it works perfectly because later on in the film we meet another character, and the chemistry isn't as good with Buzz, and it works perfectly. It's like, yeah, I see why, like, how important it was, and it low-key affected the other character for me, but in the right way. We'll get there. But yeah, the action looks amazing too. Matt, imagine this, guys. Like, for people that grew up on Toy Story, think about the animation we had then. Like, it was great for the times, like no doubt, like next level CG in animation back then. But what we get in this movie is different, and they flex it immediately with the bug fight at the start of this movie.
We're not gonna make it. Almost there. Okay, plan B. Ready? Go!
Like, tell me that didn't look dope. Like, honestly, in a weird way, like, that scene kind of grounded me, because it's like it like tapped into my inner kid, because it's like, yo, like growing up on Toy Story and kind of feeling like Andy, and like always just like acting like my Toy Story life and stuff like that, and seeing how cool Buzz Lightyear was like presented in the Toy Story movie. Like, we didn't really, like, we saw it within the toy, but we didn't see it from like the movie aspect, right? And in this movie, with that action scene with the bugs and the way they were like just fucking everything up, it was like, yo, bro, like, yeah, now I see why Andy was fucking with her. I see why Andy was like, look, what you gotta slide, bro. Like, Buzz is here. It makes much more sense. Okay, so now we get into the point of the movie where, again, they keep flexing this animation style. We got the first time Buzz attempts to hit hyperspeed to like get back to the planet and everything, and it starts to go away. I first got to shout out the way the lighting of the sun looks on Buzz as he's like going around the sun is amazing. Like, you can kind of even see it in this picture, right? Like the way the way the moon is reflecting off of his helmet was kind of the same way. I'm gonna show a clip, but yeah, it's kind of in the same vein, and like, it looks amazing. Like, it's truly beautiful, and it's like, again, like, for the animation style to get this good, guys, it's crazy.
Certainly. Your mission is to accelerate through deep space, slingshot around Alpha Takani, then through the deceleration rings back here to Takani Prime. Target flight time, 4 minutes, 28 seconds.
Increasing speed to 0.6C. Increasing speed to 0.7C.
70% hyperspeed.
Fuel stable. Approaching 0.8C. Pushing to hyperspeed.
Failure in engine 1.
Yes, talking about tapping into my inner child, bro. Seeing Buzz go on this mission over and over again, and like not failing necessarily, but just missing the mark every single time, and then like we just seeing seeing time go by him over and over was like hitting my heart, bro. So I watched the movie once, like I think like a week or two after the movie came out, and then it just dropped in Disney Plus. Another reason why I'm doing this review, it just dropped in Disney Plus again, so I rewatched it, and even like watching it twice, it still hits me as like, yo, Buzz. And it's like it like I said, tapped into my inner child. Like the younger me was like, no, Buzz, like, yo, you missing all your friends, you missing all this. Hawthorne, like, she like starts off, she's like, yeah, I got a girlfriend. Next, she has a girl. After the girlfriend, I think they're pregnant. Then they get married. Yeah, it was just like so sad seeing like him go through that, but he was still so determined. He was like, yo, no, like we gotta get these people back, like we gotta go back, we gotta figure this out. And he just kept going, and time went by, and then boom, he gets back, and then the Hawthorne's office was empty. And, oh my god, bro.
Hi, Buzz. You'll be back here in a year or two, and, well, I won't. I don't know when it happened, but I seem to have gone and gotten very old. I always thought we'd get to be space rangers again. I miss being out among the stars, but more than any of that, I missed you. I'm leaving a message from my friend Buzz.
The Space Ranger?
This is my granddaughter, Izzy. Goodbye, Buzz. To infinity.
And beyond.
Just like for a kids movie, I mean, Disney and Pixar, like they always kind of hit hard on these kid movies. I've honestly stopped looking at Disney and Pixar movie as a little kid movie. I think we should all have that same attitude towards animated stuff, period. Like, I don't think these stuff are one-sided for kids anymore. I think I think also in the past it's always been like this. But anyways, like, we gotta start looking at these movies a little bit more seriously, and like that scene like that hits, bro. And it's like it just shows like, damn, like just not only just like good writing matter in a movie, but like just showing a progression of time through like a group of characters, but having one character just stay in one place and then slowly feel that over and over in such a short amount of time is incredible. They were able to do that. Oh, another thing I want to add to the scene is I low-key feel like we missed out on Burnside, the general that took over after Hawthorne for that little like space village they had. I feel like we missed out on him being a great villain in this movie. Spoiler, well, you guys watching reviews, so you guys know, but like we'll get to the complicated villain of the movie, which I understand why they did it, but it was like on a Burnside, like something about his voice. I know like it was a really good actor, a black actor that did the voice acting for this role, and he's great. And I was like, yo, like we could have did something, like he could have did the villain role even better, but that's just my own personal opinion. But yeah, the way Burnside comes in and just like, Yeah, man, we're not doing that space travel shit. It's expensive. You know, we can kind of figure this all out on our own. Like, we don't necessarily need to be doing this mission. Like, honestly, if we spent as much time we building this ship for you to go on this mission all the time, we can use that same energy and time to just build our own civilization here, and we'll be cool. Like, we'll survive. Obviously, I wonder if I doubt they're gonna probably do a part like another number 2 of this movie, but like, and I guess it kind of should. I don't know, something about it seems like they shouldn't survive there. Like, I don't know why, but for some reason I feel like they're not gonna survive there, and I think it would be cool to see it, because I really think Burnside would have been a great villain for this movie, and I think it kind of sucks we didn't get the opportunity. And I don't know, I feel like they should, if they do number 2, I think we should see how survival on that planet works, and then we get the Burnside, like, oh shit, like, what's going on? Okay, so after the whole Burnside conversation, he tells them, like, oh, we have a Heartthrob left for a gift for you, and he goes back and he sees this little box, and then Socks the cat, it's in there. Now, honestly, going in, I remember like seeing the trailer and like all the promotion for this movie, and I saw the cat, and I was like, okay, that's probably gonna be annoying to me. That's the little kid, like, funny character that they're just using just to sell like merchandise. Like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna really give a fuck about that. Socks is actually hilarious. I think one of my favorite like bits of the movie is when Buzz is trying to escape with Socks, and then like Socks is like, yo, wait, what's going on? And he was like, yo, they're about to shut you down. And he was like, oh.
Buzz, my programming compels me to notify Star Command that you have...
Star Command was going to decommission you.
What?
That's right. Lights out. No more socks.
Hey, you're not authorized to be in this area.
Oh, didn't know you could do that. Wait a minute, was that for me? In case I got out of line?
I bought you 5 minutes.
But yeah, Socks ended up being pretty funny. And it was like, it didn't. I thought it was gonna be annoying. I thought they were gonna like super force Socks to like make a bunch of like funny jokes all the time. But it seemed like it was just like, no, like just in the right comedic moments. It was like, all right, yeah, here's a Socks joke, here's a Socks joke, here's a Socks joke. And I think that's like a great thing they did throughout this whole movie, is like all the characters' jokes stay within the characters like self, you know, like Buzz wasn't making jokes about I don't know, like, you know, no one stepped out of there. No one was like overdoing it, and I think the only character that was overdoing it ended up being my favorite character. So maybe there was, for you guys, there was some people that like overdid it. Maybe didn't like Socks, maybe didn't like the other characters. But I feel like every character stayed within themselves, and I think it worked. And Socks, that has worked. And funny enough, like, I watched a couple reviews when the movie first came out from like other YouTubers I watched. Shout out to Super Carlin Brothers. They're also in the same vein of like, oh, like, yeah, we thought Socks was gonna be annoying. It was actually pretty funny. It was like, yeah. All right, so good job, this. Oh, another one of my personal favorite moments from this movie was finally successfully his hyperspeed, and it seemed like they're like paying homage to Interstellar in the way like when you hear hyperspeed where everything looked around him.
I'm gonna ship the base right now.
Reset hyperspeed. %. Hyperspeed. Congratulations, Captain LightYear. You have achieved hyperspeed.
After all this, we meet the whole crew. We meet Izzy, we meet Mel, we meet Darby, Kiki Palmer, Taika Waititi, and one other actress. I'm not sure. I'll put her name up, but or I'll put her name up. But yeah, they all pop out, and it was like, oh shoot, like, okay, we're gonna meet the rest of the gang. Like, all right. And at first, it's supposed to seem like they're supposed to be like this, like, secret, like, space force that's from the future. And Buzz is all like, oh shit, okay, like, space rangers still back, da 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 da. And then, like, you just slowly see them all not be any type of like helpful. and honestly, at first, this is what I was talking about with the other character between Hawthorne and I guess Izzy, her granddaughter. Was like the difference was like the chemistry with Buzz and her grandmother was perfect, like from the start of the movie. And then with Izzy and Buzz, it was just like, no, this is not it. And me personally watching, even on the second time, I was like, this is the annoying character. Who this is gonna be? Yeah, I'm not gonna like her. And then as the movie go on, you start to realize like, oh, that's the point. Like, obviously that was the point. Like, they were supposed to show like the differences between the two characters. And again, Buzz is like working with rookies and people that's not experienced. So obviously, I know like watching the second time, knowing that coming in, it was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to see that. But still, in a way, I was still like uncomfortable. And that's credit to Keke Palmer. Like, she made me not like her, and then on both times from the beginning, and then towards the middle and the end of the movie, I was like, oh, by the end of the movie, I was like, oh yeah. Nah, Izzy was like that, and if we're being honest, like, she was the better leader of the group, like, especially when she's with Mo and Darby. Like, then that's why I really started to enjoy her character. She had the great leadership skills. She was funny in her like awkwardness and like just not knowing like when to, not knowing when to do the right thing at the right moment, and she was like still kind of learning that. And then just seeing that whole relationship between her and Buzz throughout the whole movie actually really worked. Mo, who is my favorite character, was played by Taika Waititi, was absolutely hilarious. He had this weird like fumbling honesty where he would just like either like just say like the first thing that comes to his mind, and it'll be like not the right time for him to say it, but it'd be funny. It's funny. It was great timing because it was great comedic timing, but it wasn't great for the moment, right? He kept making like he had like his own little like pen joke. Another joke that I really enjoyed from him. When they were first going over their plan to like take over the Zorg ship, and like everyone's like pitching in their ideas, and he was like, yeah, but we can't die. And they're like, yeah, man, it's just like you're just not supposed to die, like not try to die every day. But he's like, yeah, but we can't do anything that you guys are saying if we don't die.
Let's review our objectives.
Kill the robots. Don't die. Don't die. It's just something you want to do every day. It's still an objective.
If I may, we have to get onto the base.
To do that, we have to kill all the robots.
To do that, we have to destroy the Zerg ship.
And to do any of that, we have to not die.
That's just like my own like personal like type of humor, and Taika Waititi hit it. And Mo was the character I was saying like, oh, maybe people didn't like him because I feel like he might have been the most. Now he definitely was the most over the top, like trying to be funny every moment. But again, like, it worked within his character. Like, it was that weird like fumbling honesty. It was just like in a moment where we don't need someone to say like this certain thing, he's just gonna say, oh, he's just gonna do a thing, and it worked for me. Darby also hilarious. All her parole jokes were hilarious. I remember when like they're fighting the Zerg like robot, and the gun falls, and then Buzz was like, get the gun. She was like, it's gonna violate my parole. And he was like, what? It was like, that caught me off guard, especially coming from a kids movie. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Like, I remember the first time watching the movie, and she made that joke, and I was like, wait, what the? She's on parole. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? But yeah, and like her just making no jokes about the movie always worked for me too. The pen jokes with Mo worked for me. Her character development from the start of the movie to the end of the movie worked for me as well. Like she grew so much, and we really saw her leadership skills every single point. And every time she was in a leadership role, or she made a plan, or she took charge of the moment, she was always right. And it was like, damn, it was like Loki throwing it in Buzz's face, and you kind of see that in the moment when like she does fuck up with the ship and everything. But she was a great character. Her leadership skills, it worked throughout the whole movie. It developed well, and in a way she kind of like learned from Buzz, because she was just like not being scared, and that's like a big like the final like showing of her like facing her fears and like becoming a real leader and becoming like the savior of the group towards the end of the movie. But we'll get there. Okay, so now let's get to the complicated time traveling villain reveal of the movie. So again, if you watch Toy Story, you know, I think it was in Toy Story 2 when they did this. They did like the big Buzz like, oh, it's kind of like a reference to Star Wars, the whole like I'm your father, but it was with Zorg and Buzz Lightyear the toys. And in this movie, like, they fulfill that whole moment. But I don't know, man. Like, this doesn't make sense to you. Like, let's watch this clip real quick.
Who are you?
Wait, hold on.
Right between 1 and 173. Wow. Robots can't quite say buzz, so around here I'm just... Right. I'm sorry. It's just exciting. You're fine.
Hyperspeed.
Just like you did. Get them home, and they didn't even care. So I escaped. I went as far as I could. Technology you can't imagine. And that's when it dawned on time. Why not use it to go back? We can't. That's never been lived. You see, we can change. We can stop ourselves from ever landing on that planet. Remember, yeah, sort of. See, I want to. It took a while. Turns out this isn't an exact science.
And you know, like, I get it. Like it's a kids movie. Like Daquan, stop thinking so hard. But like, he comes back to this timeline so he can save himself and keep going back further in time. It was like, wait, what? Like, and then he's his father. Like, I don't know. I feel like they try to do too much just in between those two moments, and that kind of was just like a head scratcher for me. But I get it. It was just to make that bit from Toy Story 2 and just make that reference again. But I was just like, you guys just made this hella complicated for no reason. And that's why I keep saying, like, I feel like they just missed the opportunity with Burnside. Like me coming in, especially watching it the first time, I was coming in with the thought of like, oh, okay, Burnside is gonna be the clear villain of this movie. So I thought in some type of way, I thought, you know how Hawthorne and her girlfriend, I guess they adopted a son, and that son had a kid, and then I think that kid is supposed to be Izzy. What I was thinking was happening was I thought Hawthorne's son was gonna be Burnside, and then he was gonna grow up and not really fuck with Buzz because the way he just left his grandma and left everybody, and then he was like, no, my whole job is to make sure like this doesn't happen again, and that's why I'm stopping your mission. And then he was gonna come back, and I thought Buzz was gonna come back to the future, and then he was gonna be like in the full-on Zurg suit and kind of like controlling the whole thing. And then the whole "I'm your father" was maybe a confused bit between Andy and like him watching the movie, and that would be like the whole like joke in the reference of it, because they could just be like, oh no, Hawthorne was my mother, but maybe Andy went home and was like, what his toys was like, I'm your mother, and it was like, yeah, that doesn't really, or like she was my mother, and that doesn't really work. And he was like, maybe as a kid, because you know, as a kid, like you watch a movie and like not the whole entire movie, like you don't remember the whole entire movie by the time you get home, you start playing with your toys, but you just kind of like just make up your own story within the movie. I thought that's what Andy was doing as a kid, and like I don't know, like again, like it's not that complicated. They go on as a kids movie, but again, I don't know. I thought it would have been better for his Burnside. But you know how I said like, oh, this is a kids movie, like that. Look, I'm just saying, keep that same energy with this clip, bro.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Like, you tell me this cinematic moment of Buzz escaping as the Zurg or future Buzz's ship, and him falling out of that ship, jumping into his ship, and then going to save his homies. That whole thing isn't tough, bro. Like, come on, like this is a kids movie, but I don't remember no kids movie I watched and having some crazy scene like that. Like that was fire and intense, bro. I remember like the first time watching it, I was dead like, yo. And then the second time watching it, I'm like, yo, Black Widow tried to do this scene, and I remember like it was being in the trailers. I remember like going in to go see Black Widow and be like, oh yeah, this scene is gonna be hard when I saw it in the movie. And I saw it in the movie, and I was like, it was alright. This movie did it fire. I think another anime. Maybe it seems like that probably worked animated because like you're not gonna obviously have a real person follow from the sky. But then I think Tom Cruise did in Mission Impossible. Yeah, I don't know, but I know another anime thing that did this. Clone Wars, I think season 7 or the last season of Clone Wars, Ahsoka has a scene very similar to this, and it looks fire. And it seems like Disney, the animation team, just upped that Ahsoka scene, and it was like, okay, we're gonna make it a little bit better, and it was like crazy. But yeah, it's just a kids movie. All right, that's not no kids movie moment right there. But with all that being said, man, like I loved this movie. It was a blast. It gave me that cinematic feel, like if I was in a theater, but I was even watching it at home, and it was like I still felt like a big movie, summer blockbuster, and I loved that. This movie also had the right amount of childish humor too, like I said, like with Mo and his pen and socks, and even Darby's. I mean, those Darby's jokes are not on, I don't want to say kiddish or childish jokes, but you know, it was a little bit on the adult side, but that was even like really great humor for this movie. The arcs for each character all worked. Like we see Mo struggling with how to shoot and like just being more, I guess, brave. And by the end of the movie, he's the one doing the what was the button press? The I don't want to die button, or the big ass suit, the space suit button that made the turn into a ball. Like him being brave enough to do that while landing on a bomb to help them go. Like that was a great arc for him. And then with the pen, like the pen itself actually being useful for him was like a great little like arc for his character. Darby not even using the weapons for parole, and then by the end of the movie, like being like the weapon specialist for them. And also, this is another funny ass bit too. This movie was dead ass funny. When the police cars pull up, and then she's like, "Oh no, the coppers! We gotta run!" And Buzz is like, "We didn't do anything. Like we saved the day." And she's like, "Oh right, yeah." It feels funny being on this side of things. Like that was funny, and that was like a good like little cool arc for her character. And like I said with Izzy, like her leadership skills. I mean, from the beginning of the movie, especially when she was with Mo and Darby, like you saw the leadership skills, but she was so unsure of herself. And then her having that moment of her, like facing her fears and going through the whole space thing and saving Socks to go save Buzz. It was a great character arc for her as well. And then, like I said, it was like he hated working with rookies, and by the end of it, it was like, yo, not only did he like save all the like Izzy, Mo, and Darby, and he also necessarily didn't lead them, but was like kind of the team captain and kind of kept everybody like in on the mission. And it was like which honestly is the greatest skill, is like just being willing to do the job. And I think that's all really what that group needed, which was a great character arc for him and the group itself. And also like him giving up the leadership role and listening and using teamwork, and like that was a big thing for him that he needed to do. And that's somewhat why his missions kept doing wrong, right? Like he didn't trust the AI and like just the ship itself. And it was like, yeah, you were right about how to get by these things and survive these moments, but without a team or without using all the stuff around you, using all your resources, you will fail, and you will be left behind in a way. And that was just like great art for this whole movie. By the end of this movie, I was so connected with this whole entire group, and I honestly felt like Andy, like seeing Buzz and having his whole adventure. Like even the moment of when they offered Buzz, like, yo, look, all right, you know what, we're gonna do the Space Rangers group, right? You were right all the time, Buzz. And he was like, nah, I don't want to train, I don't want to lead a whole army. I have my group, and this is my team. You guys can go out and do your own training and figure it out, but I have my team and I'm rolling with this team. And then also great Easter egg, and I got chills first and second time watching this. My inner kid came out, seeing them get into that Buzz Lightyear spaceship, that we see the packaging that Buzz comes in and from Toy Story and Toy Story 2, and seeing that box and seeing the spaceship was dope, man. And that was a great way to end this movie. So if I'm gonna give my final rating for Lightyear, I'm gonna give it an 8.7 out of 10 or 87 out of 100, whatever matters to you. Again, it was a blast. It felt like a cinematic summer blockbuster, but also had like the great humor and an animated kids movie in that way. And it, again, Disney or Pixar, whatever team is like head of this movie, like you guys killed it again. again, I loved it. My inner kid came out. I'm 23 years old, and I'm over here damn near crying over Buzz Lightyear still. So, great job, great movie, and I loved it. Disney hasn't missed on these Toy Story, or I guess Toy Story adjacent films, and I just hope we keep getting more. Like, can we finally get the Woody the movie about the actor? I guess what the toy was based on. Can we finally get that? Like, basically, what the Lightyear version of Woody? Can we get that, please? Because this was a hit, guys, and I'm sure Woody would be fire as well. So let's run it back. Let's do another one of these. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my review for Lightyear, and hope you guys come back for more. Make sure you like and comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. And it's your boy, the Casual Nerd Day here. I do reactions, I do reviews, and hopefully I'm gonna do a lot more. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video and come back for more. See you on the flip side.